So this dude right there wanted me to make a video of all my stuff in my room and then clean up my room. I'll do half of that. I'll make a video of all my stuff in my room and then I won't clean my room. So to start, here's my room, here's my bed, the little kid bed. Here's my workbenches over here. This is where I build stuff on, and that's my computer. And here's where I hang my clothes. Here's my whiteboard. That's how many weeks are left of school. And then here's some planes on the ceiling, and my C-130 that's over there is gonna go to my ceiling pretty soon. But there's my panda bear eating an apple. And here's where I charge my batteries. I charge them in that box so they don't explode. And under my bed I have a lot of crap. Let's see. It's kind of dark. Put the camera in night vision. Oh, there we go. Here I have some solar panels, some rockets, bunch of old RC stuff, like the crappy kind. There's some instructions for floats. Now, a ton of Legos. Here, this used to be my rocket box, but here's a Super Cub remote. Stuff for an Emax. Here's the airsoft gun that I was gonna put on the RC plane. There's my Emax remote. Let's see what's in there. Oh yeah, that's my Super Cub box right there. What else is in here? Here are a ton of paratroopers that I made out of Kleenexes. There's a hacksaw, solar panel. Here's a box full of electronics like this. I don't know what that is, but here's a Super Cub battery box. Here's a doorbell. Here is a servo from a tank. Here's some circuit board. I don't know. Just a bunch of stuff from everything you could think of that I took apart like 3 years ago. Here's a big battery from a submarine. Let's go look over there. Here's my box that I put more stuff in. Here's a charger to a Super Cub, a bunch of wire. Here's an old receiver that I burned up before I could even use it. Bunch of foam, some servos in there. There's an HS-85. Here's some wings to my dual EDF thing. Here's some push rods from a Super Cub. Let's see, what's in here? Oh, there's a fan blade from a hovercraft. Here's an air tank, Dr. Pepper thing. Here's a duct fan with the rust filtering. There's a remote. These dual counter-rotating propellers, they still work. Here's a little card that I bought at Walmart for like $5. There's some foam. Here's the remote to that car. Let's see, over here, here's my power systems box. Here's the prop to the 480. I should turn off my night vision, huh? Could you even see when I was filming over here? Yeah, I guess so. But whatever. Here is, I need to change, like now you can't even see. Here's the shaft to my there's my 221206, and I need to change the motor shaft on it. Here's a little burnt out microjet motor. There's a charger to my Emax. Here's my Blade CX2 box. What else is in here? Oh, I'll turn off my vision. Here is a boat. This was once solar powered. There's a ton of instructions in there. Here's some glow sticks that I'm gonna put on planes. What else is in there? Oh yeah, here's a tube that fits perfectly on a 64mm duct fan. Then there's my air compressor. There's a camera. I'll talk about all that foam in a sec. If you crawl under here and switch on the night vision, where is that switch? Oh, there it is. Here is a box of little RC cars. I used those to film that one movie, the RC car movie. Here is the best box out of all of them. This is all ton of stuff. There's a remote to a Palm Z. Here's like a little, this thing is sweet. It's like that thin. It's a little flashlight. Just a bunch of everything you could think of. Tons of awesome stuff. Here's my toolbox. Let's see what's in here. I almost knocked my hot glue gun over on me. Here's a charger, glue, Allen wrenches, knives, more glue, not safe on Depron, stuff. Let's go over here and see what's on my desk. Here's my hot glue gun. It's probably my most used tool out of everything.